What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. And as I always say, you get two choices: the ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So, hey, look, check this out. The title of this video is going to be on the fact of AI. You know what I'm saying? Artificial intelligence. I feel as if it was something that we knew already, right? But it didn't have its feet planted in the ground, right? But there were people who ran the systems and the government, you know, that had a foot earlier into knowing when AI was going to emerge, and they had already been constructing, you know what I'm saying, certain systems to operate, right? And for me personally, AI can be very good in, you know what I'm saying, upgrading your business in a way, but at the same time, it replaces humans. You know what I'm saying? Human interaction, human intelligence, right? And personally for me, I feel like they got a big advantage on being able to promote that more, because a lot of humans never even realized that they were NPCs. You know what I'm saying? Had their souls taken from them very young, or, you know what I'm saying, not young, and they were able to operate in a way where their mental functioning is stabilized off of old programming. So when a new era is about to emerge in the world, there are always the ones that come out with the ability to help the evolution of humanity, because they managed to survive all the attacks that were sent and directed to them to help them become an NPC. You know what I'm saying? But again, the way the God, universe, Allah, whatever you choose to call it, operates is most of the time these human beings are hidden under the disguise of the NPCs as perfect targets and victims, simply because it was not safe for them to be able to emerge at that time, due to a lot of people running certain government systems in a very violent, negative, aggressive way, right? So if you were able to be strong enough to go up against them, 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose your life, right? So when the new era emerges, there are secrets and things that were hidden for a very long time from humanity, for us not to realize how we were becoming NPCs, how we were becoming certain people that navigated in a certain system in an angry way, that it promoted, you know what I'm saying, the death and killings of certain individuals out of fear and protection. You know what I'm saying? Because of the simple fact that the government didn't want human beings to ever know or realize the secrets that they hold that kept them in captivity. Because then just imagine, think about it, if people really knew what they were doing behind the scenes, how that could target them and make them become susceptible to certain attacks that they made other humans be attacked for, right? So what's currently happening right now is that there are a lot of people that operated in this negative era of violence, fear, manipulation, and control, that the veil has been lowered so low that they weren't able to succeed in the missions that they were set out to do. And now they are being attacked. So what's happening is they're becoming upset and mad simply because they were told to target a certain group of individuals who they would be able to receive information and money and gifts and things from, to protect the government from having certain secrets revealed. You know what I'm saying? And when they didn't succeed in that, their whole system crumpled on itself. You got to understand how them people would be upset and mad. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I probably would be mad too. Not in fear of other people, but in fear of the system that made me believe that this was the way to operate to get ahead. So a lot of these governments are extremely petrified. They have top-notch security, you know what I'm saying, centered at every government location because of the fear. You know what I'm saying? The fear of realizing that I participated in a certain attack against certain humans, and now that they have woken up and discovered who they really are, they are going to make sure that certain things get out that flips that. Now again, knowing and understanding the truth is a whole different ball game in exposing the truth. There are a lot of people that know, but they refuse to speak out because they're observing in scenarios where, you know what I'm saying, they're getting information and relaying it through thoughts back to whoever. And again, it's always a dark individual and a light individual. A dark individual that has been operating the world in a dark way through violence, crime, and murder, simply because their darkness helps them elevate and get people to corrupt because of the anger and the emotions that they felt when they experienced certain things in their life, right? But there's always one in the background playing for the benefit and the involvement of humanity. You know what I'm saying? And it just takes the strength and the wisdom to be able to become strong enough to handle, you know what I'm saying, what it is that you're going to be faced with, right? So, again, a lot of people don't realize how, like, AI was and is formed to push out humanity, you know what I'm saying, and push certain people who are NPCs back into a system that is designed to make money. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, I'm pretty sure y'all have came across the term a honey trap. You know what I'm saying? A honey trap is someone that comes into your life and is adjusted to the old world. You know what I'm saying? The one that you, like, played your cards in, right? So they see you as a perfect target. You know what I'm saying? And they come in with all the things adjusted to your old life to keep you in that same mindset so that you don't evolve with the new era of AI and expose how, you know what I'm saying, humans were used as NPCs to stop from evolving so that the government could get ahead, you know what I'm saying, by pushing people out. So the honey trap comes in, you know what I'm saying, studies you, does all the things that you like, you know what I'm saying, gets the money, but their whole mission is designed to get close enough to you so that they can get secrets from you. And the biggest way that those secrets are, you know, retrieved from you is through, you feel me, having intimacy with you, right? And they take those secrets of the things that you know, and what they do is they start to implement them in their life so that when you start to expose the truth, people won't look at you as the one who's coming to save humanity, simply because they will have been took a whole itinerary of your life. You know what I'm saying? And they'll go out there as dark individuals, NPCs, and have money and be taken care of, which is what the old world looks to, and basically portray who you really are to the public so that they don't really know that they're being tricked. You know what I'm saying? And it creates more crime. It creates more violence. It creates more, you know what I'm saying, people just not being aware of what's to come. You know what I'm saying? So imagine when you decide that it's a very prevalent time to now step into your purpose, you know what I'm saying, and be the person that has a voice for what it is that you're trying to do. What oftentimes happens is that the people that was connected to you, they push away because they're involved in the system that has made them comfortable, and they are made to look at you as the one who's trying to come in and take that from them. So they try to figure out, or they do ways to disassociate themselves from you. You know what I'm saying? To push you into a certain mindset to where you become an NPC like them. You know what I'm saying? And the system stays the same. You know what I'm saying? But the crazy part about it is when you invest in that and then the system turns on you. Like me being someone that, you know, like damn near all my life did everything I was supposed to, had a job, did this. actively involved in state programs that aided me in being able to get ahead. For whatever reason, I just didn't have that mentality of being lazy. So, I took it upon myself to work, stay out of trouble, as much as I could, and do it the right way, right? But when you become a threat to the system that is about to collapse on the people heavily involved in it, they don't want you close to them to make them aware of what's to come and what's about to happen. So therefore, when it does, their mind gets so tangled and warped that they're able to have the systems that have been operating for so long continue to grow. Like, think about it. The first, the national disaster to put people in a certain mindset before this hit was COVID. A sickness and an illness that you can't be within 3 feet of people, and this and that, wear a mask and da-da-da-da and all this, you feel me? Had people in a frenzy, had people scared, had them going to go get this, you feel me? Shot and all this and all that. All of it designed to basically trap people from not being aware of what's really going on. Which is using humanity to fund certain programs and certain things in life so that they can grow, but we don't. So for me personally, I never was one who even paid COVID no never mind. I was in 3 feet of my child when she got it, and I didn't catch it. I didn't have to get no shot. Like, being immune to that shit, is what, for me personally, I feel like I'm the type of person, like, I'm not finna get a vaccine for something that I haven't caught in my life. For instance, I probably mentioned this before, but I'm mentioning it again. They were hell-bent on me getting a flu shot when I went to prison, and I told them I didn't want to get a flu shot. And they made it seem as if I was a person who didn't know how to read or write, which is why I was refusing to take the flu shot. And in my mind, I was refusing to take it because I haven't caught the flu in my lifetime. So why would I get a flu shot? For prevention? Why would you get something to prevent you from something that you haven't had? Me, I've been, overall healthy person my whole entire life. I basically did and ate whatever I wanted with no problem. So for the ones that are operating in a system where they're told what to do, how to operate, who to talk to, what to, ingest in their body, oftentimes those be the ones who be sick. Those be the ones who have a consistency of issues. So really think about it, though. The ones who were meant to evolve out of, the old conditioning, because they basically figured out a way how to, be AI. They did everything they could to try to, like, diminish their identity. Take away their whole existence, make them really small, right? So that when it was time for them to expose the truth, no one would listen to them, because we did everything we could to minimize your existence, especially when the honey trap didn't work. When the honey trap didn't work in making you, downsizing who you are, making you, feel less about who you are, they couldn't go back to their leader and say, we didn't succeed in the mission that we were supposed to take out and use this person. Because what happened is, a lot of them weren't aware of the fact that the people you target were going to make you see who you really were. And when you start to, catch feelings for someone after you were designed to be an NPC, you didn't catch feelings. You were just there to be someone that extracted information from people. That scared you. But you had to go back to your leader and tell them that you didn't succeed in the operation, right? So what happens is, not only do their system start to crumble on them, you now have to be taken through there, where you will experience a series of situations to see if you crumble or stay strong. It's designed to push you into the back so that you do not be the one that is able to alert humanity on what is really happening. But when that didn't happen, simply because you were already built strong, you had spaced a lot of scenarios and situations in your life against people who had fell victim to this system, and they intentionally made you face the same things just to see how strong you were. So again, my love for my granny, you feel me, was man, very big after I figured out what was really going on. But at the time, you know what I'm saying, it gets to you, especially if you're someone that has emotion still. You know what I'm saying? Someone that cares still. You gonna feel it when they do it, because it's like, why are you doing this to me? And you're supposed to love me. But I realized that in order to sustain this life, you have to kind of, you don't have to kind of, you have to let go of that emotional factor. You have to let go of, you know what I'm saying, loving someone so much that you don't realize, you know what I'm saying, when certain things are done to help you grow, you'll take it as an attack, and it'll ruminate in your mind, and you'll start to be thinking you defeated, and then, you feel me, you won't be able to be strong enough to grow. So when I started to face certain scenarios that were new to me, and basically going in a way that was normal, like, you know what I'm saying, the welfare office, I need resources, I don't have food, I got my child with me, you know what I'm saying, I need a little money. They basically did everything they could to shut that down, simply because they knew who you were, you know what I'm saying. And the first test you were able to escape out of. So if people were able to sit down with you and have a one-on-one and give you resources, they would be able to wake up to what's really going on. And that wasn't the mission. The mission was to keep everybody quiet from the truth, simply because they knew that the honey trap already failed in the mission. You know what I'm saying? They didn't succeed in what it was they were supposed to do, in putting your mind in a certain frenzy by manipulating you, lying to you, and tripping your mind up so bad that you wouldn't be able to access the information needed to help the evolvement and the evolution of people, which is done through, whether people want to believe it or not, I feel as if a lot of people became closer through, you know what I'm saying, social media, simply because there was so much friction in, you know what I'm saying, regular, normal human life. You feel me? If you're not able to be strong and handle what it is out here on these streets, because of the simple fact there were so many people that were operating as NPCs, people that are so stuck in the old world that they will target you simply because of what you know and how you are speaking it out into a platform that helps you get reach without having to, you feel me, be affected, you feel me, in a way where you have to do it on a main scale. Like, for instance, they take away everything in your physical reality so that you don't have the reach to reach anybody with what you say. But when you find a different outlet, because you got to think about it, World Wide Web, meaning whatever you put out on that is going to get out to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? People who are energetically attuned to it, especially if you're awoken to who you really are, and you go out into the world and you experience people, you know what I'm saying, that are targeting you simply because they're NPCs. Their system has been operating for so long by using the same system, but every system has an expiration date. So they're only targeting you because what they're starting to realize is that their system is not working, and you're passing every lesson, you know what I'm saying, designed to cripple you so that you don't reveal the secrets that has been keeping humanity trapped. And so when we flip the system on these people, you feel me, they're going to go into a frenzy. And when they go into a frenzy, they usually stay in the systems that have been operating for so long to keep fueling money in these people's pockets. Because you got to think about it. If I designed a system where I make money off people's mental state, and I'm rich and successful and living life while these people are doing bad, and I really don't give a fuck because I really don't care about humanity, you know what I'm saying? I am going to do everything I can to make sure that these people are, you feel me, put into this mental space to keep money in my pockets. Because when the energy flips and it's a new world, you got to think everybody is out here going for self. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that were basically on the same, like, frequency, they knew the truth, but they didn't act in it for fear, those are the ones that we go after to separate them. You feel me? So that when we hit them, they go into a frenzy and they really don't know, you feel me, what to do. And that's how we keep that system going. Listen, let me tell you something. You got to really think about how I could use a person's wounds and who they are and get them to go out into the world and not care and commit crimes and do violent things, you know what I'm saying? And put them into a system that is designed to make money. You know what I'm saying? By people who just have figured out how to use their brain in a way to where they're able to gain access to certain information, right? But I need to be able to put money in my pockets. I need to be able to sustain a profit. I need to be able to, you know what I'm saying, keep growing in what I'm doing. So the more people I recruit, the better. And so when that line is threatened, you got to think. People go into a panic, especially if they know one of their most important assets have escaped a honey trap design mission. You feel me? Nigga, they get scared. And so the mission is to go out there still and try to recruit people. But the more you stand up in who you are, the more you're designed to understand that repetition is the father of learning. Big shout out to Lil Wayne, you know what I'm saying? The more you keep repeating stuff, the more you get more insight. And you got to be strong enough to fight, you feel me, your physical circumstances. Because, listen, they dropped the ball on everybody's head. And while people were making fun of you because you were going through something they wasn't, it wasn't funny when they went through it. You know what I'm saying? Then they started to open their eyes like, damn, we were designed to go after somebody that was actually going to reveal the truth to us, but we thought that by siding up with y'all, we were going to be protected. But really, y'all played us. And now the ball got dropped on our head, and now we, you feel me, in a frenzy where we got to figure out what to do. Like, really think about it. It's a multi-million-dollar business on pharmaceuticals. You're a person who, you feel me, can't think straight, can't operate, don't know what to do. Let me give you a pill to control your nervous system. You feel me? Not only that, it's a multi-million-dollar operation in prison. So many pills are given out for so many things that it don't even make no sense. And half of the people don't even use them for that. You know what I'm saying? But it's money in that. So why would we, you feel me, be okay with allowing someone that could see through that to be able to expose us? But again, you got to really think about it. It was designed that way. So a lot of times they try to figure out who you connected to because they know the system, which is a lot. You get close to someone, you know what I'm saying? Make it seem like you like them. You feel me? Trip their mind up, manipulate them, but finesse them with good sex and money that by the time you get done with them, they don't even have the ability to basically go out into the world and be who they are because you took their soul. You know what I'm saying? The mission is, I will give you eternal life. I will give you wealth. I will give you drugs if you go out into the world and take other people's souls. And the NPCs were great at doing it. You know what I'm saying? And they were made to look like the average person. Like, they had stuff in life. You know what I'm saying? They were still riding around in cars. They still had money. You feel me? While they pushed the one person out. Because they were told that you go after this person because they're going to disrupt the money. But they threw the ball on your head. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, damn, who do we really believe? So it put people into a state of confusion. You know what I'm saying? We really don't know who to trust, who to believe. And if you think about it, it's designed that way. The cops, certain cops going after other cops, you know what I'm saying? Certain welfare employees going after other welfare employees, like people having the ability to operate in these systems and now pay attention to the people in these systems. You feel me? Because I promise you, when it's death or war, like, everybody gonna go out there for self. You feel me? And there really won't be a lot of people that are basically designed to, you feel me, be a selfless person. Like, think about themselves last. You know what I'm saying? And help other people understand the truth behind what's going on. Especially if you are really dark. Like, you can't get over what happened to you in your childhood. That easily turns you into a monster. And if you turn already a monster and then you're getting thrown into a monstrous situation, you're going to get even more a monster. You know what I'm saying? And you're not going to have no feelings, no emotions really towards nothing. It's all just a big ass game. You feel me? And these NPCs are smart and intelligent and very crafted at it. They have this ability to learn and understand, you know what I'm saying, things effortlessly. But the thing is, when it comes down to human emotion, human compassion, human empathy, they do not have those. You know what I'm saying? But if you are someone that lacks it in yourself or lacks the awareness of who you are, they could easily come in, you feel me, and make you think that you don't have that either, but you know who you are for real. So every situation is a test. to help you elevate and grow, to become more aware of who you are. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. It's not the easiest thing to do, right? But every human in the world has a purpose. But it's just up to you if you're going to be fearless in being able to stay strong and fight it. Because most people are not fearless. They pick up the phone, they get the call, they know their purpose, but they get hit with something, and then they revert back into the matrix, which is a system designed to keep people stuck. And so, again, like I said, the emergence of AI, most people don't like it. Most people have a certain way how they feel about it, but it could be used in a good way and it could be used in a bad way. But the truth behind it really is to use it for people to make money and then decriminalize the whole human race by not allowing them to be able to get over the pain that made them be NPCs, that they don't know how to evolve into the current world. And so you got to think about it. If they don't know how to evolve and know their true power, you can keep putting dark people in these scenarios, because you got to realize oftentimes NPCs target people that they know have the ability to see through it, and they get a hold on your life before you do. So the mission is to stop you from being who you are, so that they could take your life and act it out in the world and pretend like they're that and they're not. So that the truth of who you really are is never discovered, and people can't see you for who you really are, because you have the ability to have people wake up to who they really are. And again, when you're operating in a dark way, you don't want people to know that, because you need the old systems to function, because it was for a profit. It was to put money in your pocket, no matter what it did to people and their families. You know what I'm saying? You didn't really give a fuck about that, because you either probably got all the money and you by yourself and you're alone and you don't care about human interaction. You do shit by yourself and you spend all the money. You feel me? Motherfuckers be fucked up rich and fucked up for real. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I'm not knocking it, but at the same time, I started to feel a certain type of way about it when it touched me. You know what I'm saying? Simply because I'm a type of person that think there are things that are worth more than money. You know what I'm saying? If I could bring my brother back, it ain't no price on that. I would be broke in the slums with me and this nigga together. Nigga, I would pay, I wouldn't, what? You can't put a price on that. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I said, people be so damaged and hurt that it gets to a point where they don't give a fuck. They're only around other people for the benefit of them. And depending on who they are inside, it could really stop you from growing. It could really stop you from evolving, because of the simple fact you hate yourself so much that your mission is to come after other people and attack them and stop them from growing. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but it's reality. It's real. It's something that can't be pump faked. And certain systems that have had control this whole time, they're taking a major hit. So they're doing like their last resorts, their last, you feel me, things that they can do to try to like make people understand that that's not what was happening. That what that person is saying is not really what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And so what they do is they still try to attack you to get you to be quiet, and then they still try to take your life and use it with the ones that, you feel me, are certain type of people that do mass production to the world. Like, they put out a certain image to the people to get them to think a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? But as long as you keep speaking up, as long as you keep being, you know what I'm saying, purposeful in your purpose, that goes against what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And they'll, like I said, they'll still attack you, they'll still come after you, but they'll start to get an understanding of certain people who can see you for who you are. They will realize, like, our tactics are not working like they've always worked. You know what I'm saying? Something is happening. It's a glitch somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Study them, target them, figure out what they do, try to intercept that in any way. And the first thing they do is take all resources from you. You are not allowed to do anything in a world that's designed off control. You know what I'm saying? And so when you think around it, most of the time it comes with breaking the law or hurting somebody. And that's how they put you in a system designed to put captivity on your mind. But when you have the ability to outthink that, they start to slowly lose, because it's like, damn, they ain't committing a crime, they isolated, they by themselves, they doing their own thing. We really don't know what else to fucking do, especially because evil groups up in teams together. Oftentimes there is not a single evil person that could come after a light person by themselves, because you got to think about it, they run in packs and groups. The more that you have more people coming after you to attack you, the harder it is for you to sustain who you are, because you feel defeated. I had my whole family come up against me. I had all my friends come up against me. I had everybody that I thought fuck with me like that come up against me, but it was a designed attack. You know what I'm saying? To get you to feel emotionless, to get you to feel, you know what I'm saying, like your self-worth was diminished, so that you wouldn't speak the truth, because of them being heavily operated in that system. And you know the craziest part is, a lot of them operate in it and they are like me, right? But they were just too in fear to speak up and speak the truth, because they knew what came with it. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I feel like you gotta be brave enough to just face it head on. Like my granny, bro, I understand now. She was gonna tell you the truth, but she didn't probably do it as much as she liked, because she knew the attack that came after it. But she was fucking strong as fuck though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to warn y'all in a way. But at the same time, my wounds from childhood is being attacked too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm becoming afraid, and it's pushing you towards more of operating in a dark way. Like, you having a certain type of energy, me being there for so long would irritate her. She would call the police on me, but it was designed like that, because they're trying to push me away. Because if you have the ability to be around somebody for too long, you can wake them up and they can see who they really are and get out of NPC mode. And again, why would I want people to get out of NPC mode if them being in NPC mode helps benefit me and I gain a profit off of it? Now I'm being attacked, my system is being attacked, there's cracks through it, everybody is getting revealed, secrets are happening, people are, you feel me, dying of evil, and the world is being able to be re-emerged in a way where you cannot kill humanity for the benefit of AI. There are certain people that are AI. You know what I'm saying? They can see through certain things. They have the ability to change the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to be in touch with people to, you feel me, get their credibility of who they are diminished, because they can see the truth of what it is through technology. Just like the people who built AI could as well. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I see so many commercials on my phone with AI involved, and I'll be looking like, this shit fake as hell. People ain't really in the mood to operate like this. And they basically took in humanity and put it in computer form to push out the person that it originally originated from. Listen, let me tell you, it's tricky and it's weird. And it's crazy, because it's like everybody's being affected by it. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I said, there are people pushing certain narratives to try to regain control. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they were threatened. And that's cool. It's always going to be like that. You always going to have the ones, you feel me, that ain't really fucking with the net. You know what I'm saying? Getting money in the streets, this and that, third, right? But if they do team up with you, it'll be in secret. Simply because the powers, that be, don't want them to express that in a way to where it affects what they got going on. And I get it. If you built up, you feel me, getting yourself out of a certain poverty mindset, you wouldn't want to allow the powers that be to know that you feel me, side with the other side. So again, they do it in ways where it's very creative and not directly speaking the truth. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, it's in me, not on me. So I had the ability to, you feel me, be outside and people see me for who I really am. And if they're, you feel me, content in who they are by not allowing their past to put them in a certain mindset to where they can't evolve in the world, they love it. You know what I'm saying? But for the ones that are upset because they're NPCs that were designed and targeted to attack people like me, and I was able to see through it, they mad, they upset. You feel me? They'll do anything they can to project it onto you, because they just can't figure out how the fuck did you make it through? How were you able to get through a system that we made sure kept everyone else silent but not you? And that's the ability to realize that the power in God, Allah, the universe, whatever you want to call it, to make sure that, you know what, I'm going to make sure this person goes through a set of circumstances in their life to prepare them for what they're going to have to face when they become a certain age. Because when that era flips, they're on a certain mission. They're on a certain assignment. You know what I'm saying? And listen, there are a lot of people that are in fear of the powers that be. You know what I'm saying? Because they do everything they can to keep people afraid. They threaten people's housing. They take away food. They do everything they can to keep the population in fear. They raise food prices. They raise gas prices, right? So for me personally, I kind of get an understanding now why I don't have a life like everyone else. Because then you would be stressed out about rent, bills, and this and that. And you don't have the ability to have a clear mind to be able to do what you do. You know what I'm saying? They intentionally do that on purpose. You feel me? To get people in a certain mindset. So when you have the ability to overthink that, listen, they still will try to come attack you because they know that they're going down. They know that their system is affected by it, right? And it's crazy because it's like the manipulation tactic they use. They could very well be on your side. They could very well, you know what I'm saying, be on what you own. But the people they work for don't want them to, you feel me, side with you. So they come out and attack you again. Listen, I handled it in a better way. But the same police officer that stopped me the last time from try to stop me from today from talking. But I just handled it a different way by going to a different spot. You feel me? What you will not do is keep me from talking. You feel me? Simply because you are a sheriff who's operating in a system that is probably taking a major hit. And you're afraid for your life and what you got going on and thinking that you might be hit next. So what better way than to target the person that's exposing the secrets of our system? And I'm afraid. I'm not going to tell you that, but I am. You feel me? So listen, let me tell you something. I could tell by the mannerisms and the way they talk to me that, you feel me, they don't want people to know they really siding with me. But I'll promote you in doing what you're doing, but I can't directly tell you that. And again, it's the ability to understand that you made it through their attack. And now you have the ability to expose the secret that's not only in their system, but in the whole system overall. Like, everybody's being affected in a major way. Listen, so many people voted for the president right now, and he waged war on his own people. I know a lot of people are feeling stupid right now. You feel me? And that's usually what happens when a person is trying to save face on themselves. And people don't even be knowing. And that's how the systems keep growing, because I was designed to attack somebody that I fucked with heavily, you know what I'm saying, to protect a system that ended up flipping on me. So for me personally, it helps me re-evolve the truth behind the reality of the real. You feel me? The more people are isolated and separated and put against each other, the easier it is to keep people in a mental brain fog. You know what I'm saying? Listen, let me tell you something. I eat whatever the fuck I want. I do whatever the fuck I want. And I'm overall, you feel me, a healthy person. So, again, if you haven't been watching, there are a lot of things on the internet that'll let you know and tell you, like, damn, there are a lot of homeless people that they're healthy, they don't go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? They just might got a little dirty. Their clothes ain't clean. Yeah, because the system has pushed those people out and deprived them of resources so that they can put their mind in a certain mental state and do not have the ability to outthink their circumstances or continue to grow anyway. But again, like I said, when your purpose is bigger, I got a kid. You know what I'm saying? I love my family. Whether they may see me as the intended target or whatever, I'm not the intended target. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all can see that now. You know what I'm saying? But again, when you side with a person because of something inside of you haven't healed, you won't be able to grow to the next level until you heal that. So if that person is targeted against me as the person who, you feel me, crippled their system, you're still going to think I'm the target because you're siding with someone that hasn't been able to heal. You know what I'm saying? Until you detach from a person that's stuck in their way of thinking and grow for yourself, then it starts to become clear the truth behind what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? this is a very wicked world. You know what I'm saying? And again, when it comes to survival, it's every man for himself. Not really realizing that we would be better if we stuck together. You know what I'm saying? Like, come together and use our brains and figure it out together. You know what I'm saying? Having the ability to use my phone as a way to get information out there and let it touch thousands and millions of people at some point is a very effective tool that you can use. I feel like it was designed that way intentionally on purpose. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that created it use their mindset to, you know what I'm saying, create the algorithm. But when you happen to have the ability to escape out the algorithm, the content you receive on your phone changes. You know what I'm saying? The more you awaken to who you are. You feel me? And then you start to receive stuff that helps you keep awakening to who you are. And they didn't like that. They didn't want that. Actually, I don't even think they would have thought that it could be done, because they tried to stage certain things in a person's physical life to where they wouldn't be able to continue to grow and continue to succeed in what it is they was doing, right? And again, like I said, NPCs are like zombies. Anytime you talk or you expose the truth, they're triggered. So it causes a reaction in their body. You feel me? Sometimes anger, sometimes outbursts, sometimes, you feel me, emotional destruction, that a lot of times they're stuck into a mental web, and then again, it fuels the pockets of, you feel me, certain social workers, certain mental health people. Like, you got to think of the system and how it operates. And again, it's nothing new that we haven't already experienced. It's just the evolvement of a system that was already put in place. For example, y'all may think that not drinking sugar is making these companies go out of business. No, what they're doing is figuring out how to come up with more creative ways to get their product out there. I like soda. I like eating sweets from time to time. It don't do nothing to me. You feel me? But it's the system programming that keeps everybody going towards healthy way of eating and put certain people out of business. Simply because the people that run these businesses will be put into a frenzy of thinking, damn, we gonna lose the money, or we gonna lose this, that they don't have the ability to be creative, to create something that people are gonna like. You feel me? And again, it's all energy. Listen, Pepsi dope. To come up with wild cherry vanilla, that shit is so fucking fire. You know what I'm saying? It's so good to me. I'ma drink it. You know what I'm saying? You only get one life. Why should I have to live a life where I can't do certain things or I can't like certain things because you telling me I got a death wish? What the fuck? How are you gonna tell me I got a death wish? That doesn't even make sense when you probably doing your own thing in your own life. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta really understand and realize, like, we're evolving as a whole, as humanity. Being able to be yourself and listen to your body and know what you're here to do will help you live a longer life than if you listen to someone that is trying to make people be NPCs for their own gratification. Watch out for these honey traps. They're extremely, listen, I'm telling you, they got, what's that called? Riz, finesse your socks off, right? But the thing is, they were operating in that power for so long because it was easier to sell my soul and get things that I desired, which was money, because I come from poverty, that I managed to study the system of these individuals I targeted, and I knew exactly what to do. But now that the system turned on me because I wasn't able to succeed in my mission, I now have to sit back with who I really am, and it can either make you confused or it can help you grow. But oftentimes, what will happen is when you discover a honey trap secrets and you give them the same behavior that they used against you to target you, they can dish it out, but they can't take it because that's a trigger to them. And so when you start to act like them and use their own system against them, they will leave. But what happens is they become deeply obsessed over you because they fell in love with someone who managed to break through their system. So now you got a stalker. Now you got someone that is on the other side in that team, but they're deeply obsessed with you. You know what I'm saying? And it causes a certain type of confusion where their tactics will now be used on them. And if you want to make it, you're going to be able to be strong enough to succeed in overcoming it because of what you learned from someone that was sent in your life to help you get out of what it is that you succumb to, especially if you had in your life everything that you always wanted. Now your mission is going to be trying to get that back. But if you're heavily mind controlled by the system that you were put into, it's very difficult, but you can do it. I feel like the best way to do that is to like erase yourself from the whole system. You know what I'm saying? Do not allow yourself to be into their system at all. You feel me? It's a way that you can do it. It's not like we haven't went without food. It's not like we haven't went without shelter before. So if you figure out how to think and get over it, you don't put yourself on their radar. And now they don't have the ability to control you because it's a system. And all the systems designed to help are all connected together. They know all your information. Now, again, a lot of them have people inside those systems that are designed to help people. And they do. And they are strong enough to go against evil. But then you got to think about it. It's a lot of people that are evil themselves that are in these systems to figure out how to control humanity. But I've come up against certain, you feel me, people. Like, you got to think, a person who decides to do a certain profession is either going to do it because they want to help or they're going to do it because they want control. And usually they have a story that aligns with their profession and why they're doing it. I promise you. But over time, the more susceptible you come to attacks and the more evil you get, you start losing your purpose in doing it and you start going towards evil. You know what I'm saying? And operating in a way where you have watched people go against the law to gain power and control, and you start liking that, especially if you've been targeted and you can't take it. For instance, I was 13 years old when the first national disaster happened, which was 9/11. For a person to want to gain control so bad, they decided to study and operate in a way where they kept it a secret in certain training camps, and they went out there with the people who were designed to take over the planes, had no care in the world, and knew that they were going to die that day, and went out there and hijacked these planes and killed over 3,000 people by someone who simply wanted to establish control through a violent attack. You know what I'm saying? And listen, there are so many people that still operate like that. Like, they don't know how to establish control through peace because they're not there for peace. They're there for dominance, which means if I need to do this to establish control, that's how I'm going to do it. And if people die in the process, so what? You feel me? So if you have listen, I'm not here to create war. I'm not here to establish violence. I'm not here to, you feel me, help people understand peace. What I'm here to do is to put out what I know, and if you gravitate towards it, then you do. If you don't, then you don't. You know what I'm saying? The world is still going to be split into two. It's up to you what you want to do with your life. It's up to you if you want to be here for a long time or if you don't really care. But when the system starts to flip on itself, that old system of all the NPCs, what happens is, again, all they needed is that one breach. Now you start to see the people that operate in this system, they start to turn on each other. You feel me? Because it's like, damn, we had a system designed to keep us in a certain way of thinking, and somebody breached it, and now we don't know who to go after. But we're still heavily involved in this system over here. Listen, I'm telling you, so it's like a secret. You got to do it in a secret way, but you also, you feel me, got to know that protect your energy at all costs, because there are so many people trying to get close to you just to figure out how to, you feel me, not allow their system to continue to be breached. You feel me? And they know at some point you're going to defeat all odds. So the only thing that they can do is keep trying to do simple things to try to keep control. But that ain't working either. You feel me? So it's like, I feel like it's a time now for humanity to grow. For humanity to evolve. Because when that happens, you can't put AI in place of humans. You got so many AIs, people that are singers in AI. These are not real people. These are not people that you can go in front of and shake their hand and be happy for them, do awards and do concerts and performances, because they're AI. The person hidden behind on the computer screen is not a person that is happy with who they are. So they figured out a way how to use their brain to create an imaginary figure that basically applies itself to what people really want in life, not real people. But again, you also have people on the internet that are real people. You know what I'm saying? That are actually doing real things with real people, and it's starting to take more of an effect. You know what I'm saying? To where that old conditioning is shedding. You know, and you got to be strong enough to just listen, realize what you up against, and not allow it to get the best of you. And as you continue to repeat that over time, you become stronger. You feel me? And everything they do to keep you in fear will start to minimize. And you will start to gain control over who you are. You know what I'm saying? And I promise you, now was the time. And people that knew. But again, you can't never let people be aware of what you're doing. You basically got to operate in a system and function in how it's always been operating, so that the people that think that they're skilled in what they're doing will never catch on. Because all they're going to do is try to figure out a way to how to outsmart it. So when you turn the gavel on them unexpectedly, they're not prepared for it. And now they get mad or upset at the person they think was targeting them the whole time, because they played a mask. They played a face. They actually were doing what they were sent here to do, which is eventually get you to a point to where you turn on yourself. And so everybody that has been evilly corrupted and innocent can free themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because I was targeted too. But I didn't let it get the best of me, and I stayed strong, and I just figured out when it was the right time. Listen, I'm telling you, this shit is deep and dark. But I feel like the darkness is slowly lifting, and the light is coming to life, and people are going to be able to be free in a world that was designed to control them. I see a lot of people now grouped up together, families walking in the park, going to the store, pushing their carts. Like, it's now a time for unity. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that you can't be defeated by evil if you come together, because evil is usually operated single-handedly. And he's evil and dark and is affected by the things he went through in life, but he sits on a throne to where he's never exposed. He has other dark people do his dirty work for him, so you never are really able to touch him. And that's how he's able to, like, keep a hold on life. There are so many cameras, you know what I'm saying, at lights, at light rail stations. Who do you think is watching those? You don't think the frequencies can be crossed, and some certain people can see information or things that are being done by someone that pretends like they're doing it this way and they really not? Listen, I could go on and on, but I'm not. So if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Some people are AI, and they were put in situations in their life and compromised in situations in their life to diminish who they are. When you're deeply in tune to technology, you probably were someone that was going to be able to, you know what I'm saying, be acclimated to what's currently going on right now. But they didn't want that to happen because you influence people in numbers. So listen, again, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.